Loading screen. You will see all of those. I will never edit those out. But, you know, that's just because I'm a meanie. This is the stage of my... Well, I love the music the most. I'll just keep it at that. The stage looks really weird. We'll be driving against Propeller here. The one with the penguin. Yes, ironically enough, we're driving against the cute little girl with the penguin and the flower on the front of her ship. And this is where the turns get kind of crazy. This is where the developers went, well, like anyone's ever going to make it here, let's just make it insane. And that's what they were going for when they created this. So it might be kind of hard to see which direction I'm going half of the time at the start of the first stage, but after a while, it should just revert back into its original go straight for a long time, then make one turn, then go straight for a long amount of time, and then bump into anything that moves. The flying things are insanely dangerous in these levels as well, by the way. In the other stages, they weren't too bad, but here there is such a ridiculous amount of those things. I mean, the walls and bricks and stuff, you can still fly through those most of the time, but the weird alien ship-shaped like things, you really have to be careful of those. Sometimes they actually come from behind you and hit you, and that does a lot of damage, which I'm hoping I won't need to show, because that would be sad. This is actually lava on the bottom, which you will be seeing at the end of one of the stages. You can actually see it kind of bubble, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. But that's a small detail. There's some weird ships here with that have like balls floating around them. I'm not sure what that's all about, but maybe their developers were compensating. Anyway, they kind of fly around, and it is actually, they have like 8 of those balls just flying in a large circle, so it looks like you're almost guaranteed to hit it if you fly directly towards it, but it's actually ridiculously hard. I've only managed to hit one of those things once, and that's when I drove directly into its face, basically, which is pretty much in the exact middle. And this was a really weird turn to the left, but hey. This level is actually a little bit shorter. It's only around 400 thing. And yeah, it has some very sharp turns, and it's... In terms of level, it is definitely one of the hardest ones, but 3-3 seems to have a lot more enemies. There's also some dragon-type things here, which are kind of sitting in the air. Not sure what that's all about, but you're gonna hear me say that so much during this run. I'm not sure what that's all about, but hey. And yeah, as you can see, the things that fly around are actually going at a pretty high speed as well, compared to some of the other stages. Oh, except that one apparently. So you need to be careful. If you go around like 350, they will start gaining on you, and that's really quite annoying. So make sure that doesn't happen. And I keep bumping into the lava because the mountains are too high. And I am actually starting to lose quite a lot of health, so I'm gonna have to be a little bit more careful. But I won't be. I don't know how to be careful in this game, to be honest, because the turns are weird. You just kind of need to pay attention to where those flying things are, really. I mean, if you can see them, make sure they seem to always drive in kind of a straight line. So try not to be on that line, basically. It is really quite difficult during turns and stuff like that, but during turns, I seem to hit them a lot less when I'm taking a sharp turn. It's really quite odd. Because you'd think it would happen quite a lot more often if they were flying over here, but for some reason, I never managed to hit them. It's very odd, and now that I said that, it will probably happen, but that's a small detail. Look, it almost happened there, in fact. Oh. Of course, I will still hit the giant lava walls. You can kind of see it bubbling up and down. It looks really weird to me. It looks like the world is just kind of terraforming over here, and it's just going, rah, I'm going to become a mountain. Oh, wait, no, I'm not. Oh, yes, I'm going to be a mountain. Oh, no, wait, I'm not going to be a mountain. Oh, my God, yes, I'm going to be a mountain. And it just kind of goes on like that. But, you know, I guess lava, it was pretty hard to do back in the day. I mean, it wasn't like you could just throw a random lava texture and kind of had it bubble a little bit. No. You had to make the mountain 10 times the normal size to make it look like real lava. But I guess it's in outer space, so maybe this is just how mountains work. Mountains jump up and down, and pyramids don't. But I guess that's pretty normal, actually. What are these pyramids doing here, anyway? We seem to be in a giant lava planet with pyramids. I mean, no, I wonder who built those pyramids here, really. Only this can of soda. Probably. But that's not important right now. Important thing is, made it. Yeah, first time as well. That's never happened on that stage, actually. And it will never happen on this stage because this one is like 150 longer. Not saying meters, not saying yards, not saying kilometers, not saying miles. I don't know what it is. It's something. I'm gonna go with 150. I'll go with 150 flies since the speed is also indicated with flies per second. So, or actually no, that would make sense because then I would be to the end of the stage in 2 seconds. So that would be kind of silly, I guess. I don't know. What should we call? I guess we could go with miles. Just pretend that we're going like 500 miles per hour, 400 miles per hour, because we're in space and stuff. So let's just go with that. I mean, the guy in highway racing could go 400 kilometers per hour as well. So I'm sure this cosmic race of cosmic proportions can go pretty fast too, really. Oh, stop. Giving me sharp turns, please. Beep. Yeah, always remember to press both X or both square and circle and left and right at the same time for pretty much every turn, really. Because if you just press square and circle, you would be turning so ridiculously slow that it is pretty much unusable for any turn in the game. And well, just using the strafing thing doesn't really work either because you don't really take turns that way. So hey. It kinda works, right? Ish? No, not really. The controls are crap. Course out. I like how it sometimes says course out even if you're not outside of the actual course. But I think that happens when you go like, when you have these really tipsy-turvy things that just go up and down constantly. It's kinda hard to see if there is actually a giant wall of level before you because, I don't know, but whatever. Let's just drive through this amazing happy land of lava and whatever it is. The music kind of reminds me of what's it called? The Super Smash Bros. Melee Roy and Marth music from Fire Emblem. I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of that. Maybe the usage of these certain instruments or something, but it just kind of has that feeling. Only in a crappy PlayStation game instead. Yeah. You know, that feeling. Oh, going down magically. Sometimes you get over here. I'm just going down without actually pressing the down button. I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe I'm actually supposed to go up. I can't really see it very well. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going insane. I'm probably going insane again. It's happened so many times. And after Barbie, I don't know what to believe anymore. I'm just so miserable. Ooh. I'm actually kind of surprised I haven't died yet. I mean, okay. This is where it starts getting kind of messy, I guess. But stage 4 is pretty much impossible to die in, which you will be seeing in a moment. And I'll be showing off why it's pretty much impossible to die when we reach it, which will probably be in about 10 minutes, I guess. Which wouldn't be too long, and I'm guessing half of you have already skipped to the end to find out what the final stage and the ending looks like because you couldn't stand a single second more of this game. But that's just my personal beliefs, I guess. That's just how I feel about this game and how I would be when someone made a run about this game. So, hey, there you go. Someone has to do it, and I will be that person to do it so many times that I get really bored of this game by now. And I've probably beaten this game more than anyone else on the planet by now, actually. Probably even more than the developers, because I doubt they actually tested this bloody thing. But you know, that's just my personal view of things. My personal view of things is fairly personal and fairly opinion-based. Yeah, some people probably think that this is like the bestest game ever and played every single day of their entire lives. You know, maybe, but I sadly don't actually know anyone who has ever actually even heard of this game until I started spamming them about it. So hey, that's just me, hey. You should post a comment if you know anyone that has ever even heard of this game without, well, actually bought this game. You should find someone who actually bought this game and take your picture with him, because that will be a picture that will go down in history. That might actually make it into the history books, that picture. So you should definitely try doing that at some point. Just ask random people on the street, hey, have you ever heard of Cosmic Race? And they'll be all like, ain't that Star Wars game where you race using Luke Skywalker? And then you sigh and just kind of walk away. But then still, it's worth trying in the end, really. Yeah. I don't think I've ever actually played that Star Wars racing game. I don't even saw it a couple of times, and it didn't look too bad, but... I don't know. I'm personally not that big of a fan of racing games in general, except for like the really arcade ones like Mario Kart and well, this is where should I put this racing game? I don't know, but stuff like F-Zero, Mario Kart, and just Grid. That's how I really quite like Grid. That was probably one of my favorite racing games in terms of stuff that looked kind of realistic. Need for Speed 4 High Stakes, that one was pretty awesome too. But I'm going off topic. We just made it to the goal of the second stage. Yeah, man. And actually, just one more to go. I'm kind of surprised I haven't died yet, but